We are back with a groundbreaking episode of Fantasia. Not just because we have one of my personal favorite Fortnite players of all time with us here in MrSavage, but he has just announced he is returning to competitive Fortnite. We were all crying, we were all sad, sobbing our hearts away. We thought it was over. We thought the story had ended, but it's not. He's back. Savage, Martin, my good friend Martin. It's good to have you back, brother.
Thank you, my good friend Daniel. Hey, listen, I've seen a lot of people making some memes about me saying I was gonna go on a villain arc and then I retired 2 weeks later. And I'm unretired after crying on stream 3 weeks later. But let's just get that out of the way. Listen, boys, I don't want any hate. All right, I'm unretiring because you guys wanted me to unretire. We're giving it a last dance, a last shot.
The way we're gonna do this today is we're gonna almost treat this like a press conference. You know, you're unretired. You have to play today. Like, as we're recording this right now, you're literally about to play in like an hour and a half in the Div Cup. It's a very important Div Cup as well, because I think the deal's still in Div 2. So like, if you actually want to play FNCS, you kind of have to do really good today. So we want to give you some time to warm up. So we're gonna shoot some questions around. I got the big dog resub with me. I got Teddy Moon back in the building as well. We're gonna just shoot you some questions about how we got here from you being retired to unretired to playing with a deal and reason and all that. So what's now, like, how have you now decided that this is the time to unretire? Like, you know, you were convinced that you were done, you weren't competing. You know, obviously you said all the fans wanted to see you unretire, but like, what made you think, okay, I'm gonna do this now?
Yeah, what's the deal? We need reasons.
Teddy's kicked out already, so it's just down to a three-man podcast.
Mute this guy on the bottom left. No, I'm joking. All right, now the reason, Vidil and Reason, you know, they're good friends of mine. You know, I used to play with Vidil. I played a whole year with Vidil before. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like they both stream. You know, I enjoy hanging out with them. You know, I've been with them off stream. I've been with them on stream. Yeah, it's two good guys. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like the perfect opportunity to give it one more shot if I was to do it, which I will be doing, obviously, as I said. And you know, the chat has been going crazy, wanted me to unretire, so I'm gonna give it a last dance. I think it'll make everyone hopefully happy, and you know, I think we can do good as well. You know, I want to get on that global stage.
It's interesting, your response there was, obviously you did say at the end you want to get on the global stage as well, but the first answer was they're friends and I'm going to enjoy my time playing with them more. Were there any other options you got that made you think maybe I can return, maybe they're good teams, but I'm just not going to enjoy playing with them, so it's not happening?
I mean, I think that's the only trio in the EU that could actually make me like unretire, you know. Theoretically speaking, if Vico and Vino asked me to play, you know, then yeah, I'll play, bro. That's like a free ticket to globals pretty much, you know. But like, that's unrealistic as hell.
So you played with Fadil in the past quite successfully. What are you most looking forward to in teaming back up with him and Reason as well? Like, what are you the most hyped for?
Well, Reason's funny. I think the deal's taking it a bit more seriously, which is good, you know. I'm gonna take it seriously as well. I'm still gonna have fun, you know, trying to create some content here and there, but you know, the deal's obviously insane at the game. Reason and 2. Last time me and Vidil played, we might have had some heated moments off stream. We talked about it, so we squashed up the beef. Not really the beef, but like a little bit of some drama in the past. You know what I'm saying? But
so this is the thing about Reese and Teddy. They're both incredibly respectful and want to keep things civil. I don't care about any
when
of that.
have I ever been the civil one? Excuse me.
The point I'm trying to make is this: I'm not letting this whole thing slide of, yeah, I want to play with Reason, but they were great options. Reason wanted to play with you this season. You had to play with Reason.
I know where this is going, bro.
You clowned him on stream, and I know I was there. I was watching just like all the other people watching. You clowned him. You didn't want to play with him. You played with Vidil in the past, like you mentioned, and when it ended, you know, it didn't really end on the best terms. Like, things weren't great. So for you to now decide that, like, okay, these guys, the guys that are gonna make me unretire, like, what's the thought process there? Was it really just like before you just didn't have a trio that you thought could work at all? Like, how did you go from not wanting to play with Reason when you were with Pans or whatever, hating Vidil? Obviously, you didn't hate Vidil, but you and Vidil weren't playing. Like, how did you go from that to we're here now, we're gonna play, I'm retiring because of them?
Maybe that was a minor thing, okay? That's like, that's not a big of a deal. The thing with Reason, when I was like clowning him or not wanting to play with him, listen, I love my boy Reason. He's even more locked in now, I'm convinced. Like, I've been watching some of his tournaments. Like, he's even more locked in than he was last season. I think he got like a bit of a reality check last season when he didn't qualify, you know, even though it's like, it was a rough season for him with like all his teammates stuff and everything. I didn't mean to clown my boy Reason, okay? It was just kind of funny, you know?
So Vidil's a difference maker, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, I mean, Vidil and Reason is a package Yeah, and you know a lot about packages, Levin.
Nah, I'm not too familiar, man. I don't really know what you're referring to there. Reese, you have a question?
No, I don't. I want to hear about the package, actually. Thank you.
Reason and Vidil qualified, you know, last year to globals, right? And you mentioned them as a package, and you're right. They, you know, they worked well together. They were able to call globals. They had some good results in grand finals throughout the year.
Yeah,
But
they got
chose
fifth
to
every
split.
grands, no?
Yeah.
Last year?
No, they did really good, and they were a team that throughout the year or throughout the seasons, a lot of the time people would maybe like underestimate them, but then in the grand finals, they would show up. But even at, you know, when globals ended, they split up, right? And they didn't want to be together anymore. And, you know, Vidil was struggling to find teammates, ended up going to NA. You talk about the package, but are you concerned that things didn't work out for them at a certain point, right? Like, you know, they decided they wanted to split. Obviously, you now have, you know, repaired whatever was wrong with Vidil that was minor or whatever, right? But, you know, do you know how they feel about each other, playing with each other? Like, what do you understand about that situation?
I mean, I think sometimes when you play together with someone for a long time, it's kind of like living with someone, you know, in a tight space, you know. You get annoyed at each other, you get tired of each other. Why are you smiling at me? You get tired of each other, you get annoyed at each other.
You know a lot about that, you know. You know a lot about relationships and living with people and things. Yeah, no, keep going.
But my point is, sometimes you get tired of playing with each other, you know, and you want to mix things up. It doesn't necessarily have to do with them having anything against each other, and I doubt it. You know, they're pretty much best friends, you know, in the German community, you know, like the two biggest German Fortnite competitive streamers, I think. So yeah, that's not like a thing I'm worried about.
Well, now that you have, obviously you said there are two of the biggest German content creators. You're obviously one of the biggest English-speaking content creators. You know, you said a little second ago about how you wanted to really lock in, focused on the game. But, you know, is there still a massive content creation element to this now that you're essentially three of the biggest content creators all playing together on the same team?
Chat, you guys gonna enjoy watching us? Hopefully, right? So I think it's gonna be good for both like aspects, you know.
True. How is the team dynamics gonna work then, right? So who's doing what? Obviously, you haven't even played a tournament yet. It's all hypothetical at this point, but how is it actually going to be structured? Are you keeping Blood X in at any point? Are you IGL in? How do you think it's going to go?
I mean, we literally decided to play together like an hour and a half ago. So I think the deal's probably going to be IGL in at the start at least. We're going to see. I think it was IGL in with Cooper and Sphinx as well. I might be wrong, but and then
I think Sphinx was IGL in.
Maybe, but I know my boy Vidil. I'll just call IGL, you know, if he's doing something maybe he shouldn't be doing, you know. I'll help out. Reason, gonna be fragging probably. I'm gonna be like I was with Panzer and Mongrel, just like call IGL, do a bit of everything, support. I'm probably gonna tarp as well, I think so.
And what do you think at the end of the year, you had this last dance, what would great look like? What would be something that you'd look back on and you'd be really pumped about?
The goal is to qual globals, you know. Like that's obviously the goal. So, I mean, if we make it on that stage, that'll be pretty sick, I think.
Savage, Martin, my good friend Martin. You know, we've had some conversations about why you wanted to retire in the first place, right? And I know when you've talked about it publicly and stuff, you've mentioned obviously a lot to do with like the pressure of competing at the highest level and how intense that is now. Do you worry that now unretiring and setting the goal of like last dance to qualify for globals, if anything, you're putting more pressure on yourself than you've ever had, you know, since you know, World Cup days in your career, right? Like, how do you feel like you can handle that pressure and manage the sort of expectations there?
Well, I mean, I've been playing for 7 years, you know. Pressure is kind of something I'm, I guess, used to. But yeah, I mean, I just want to do this because that's what people want to see, and the people that have been supporting me the past years, you know, that's what they want to see. So yeah, hopefully they'll continue to support us. Chat, let's try and stay a bit positive this time. How about we stay a bit positive, chat? Yeah, let's just work towards our goals, you know.
You know, I saw, obviously, so when I first saw you tweet saying you're quitting, I basically I remember I commented, I was like, that's a good joke. And then I scrolled to the next tweet, and it was like the video of you being upset on stream, obviously saying, you know, lineage, and then I immediately deleted that first comment. I was like, he's not joking. I thought this was all a troll. I was like, there's no way. I couldn't believe it at all.
Yeah.
Exactly, right? You know, and then Reason did a good job making a little tweet yesterday. Little big massive I'm not playing with MrSavage. Is that like was that a planned April Fool's joke, or did something change over the last day?
Listen, bro, I don't know, bro. They've been confusing me too, bro. It's like I'm getting gaslighted by But
You lied to me.
what do you mean I lied to you?
Like, I was preparing for my podcast last night and I messaged him and I was like, okay, I kind of need to know the truth to get ready for the show tomorrow. Are you coming back? And he was like, nah, I'm not coming back. There's no comeback happening.
Yeah.
And so I was like, all
Bro,
right,
that's
nice.
what I thought as well until 2 hours ago, bro. Okay, so 2 days ago, that's when like this whole thing started with like Reason was asking me, you know, Vidil was asking me like, should we play together? And then it seemed like they were down if I was down, you know. So then I was like, okay, but I just want to make clear what the expectations are, you know. Like, am I gonna like have to play 3 scrim sessions a day, or you guys are gonna be like mad at me or something, you know? And then Vidil was like, I'm gonna play everything anyways. And then I called Reason and he was like, yeah, like that's fine. And then they started getting worried about if I would only play 1 season and we don't do well, like what would their teammate options be for like the last chance to qual globals in the 3rd season. But then yeah, basically I just told them like, all right, fine, I'll lock in. Let's just do this for the next 2 seasons.
So you agreed to their terms, kind of.
Why are you saying that? Like I got
no, I'm just saying, no, but I'm just like, I'm just saying like, this is like if we're looking at it like it's a negotiation, who got the better end of the deal? It sounds like they got
Both
what
of
they
us, bro.
wanted.
Both of us, it's just a bigger commitment, okay? It's just a bigger commitment that I wasn't sure if I wanted to do or not. But since that's what chat wants, that's what we're doing, all right? I literally said after I announced my retirement, you know, I said like, I love entertaining, I love streaming, and hopefully I can entertain people for the years to come. That's what I'm thinking about. I know it's kind of weird how I retired 3 weeks after, but I didn't expect this kind of like, I don't know how to say, like this opportunity to play with 2 of my friends, 2 good players that also stream. Like it's kind of like the perfect fit, I think so.
Do you think, you know, looking back, that a lot of the reason you retired was it option based? Obviously, you know, I don't know how long you were thinking about retiring. Was it a month, a year, 2 years, or something that generally that you're thinking maybe I want to take a step back? But do you think like a lot of the reason you ended up taking that step back and retiring was just like trio options at the time?
No, maybe slightly, but it's like, you know, of course the thought has come across my mind multiple times, you know. That's just natural. Yeah, at like the start of OG season, like when all that hype came back, I realized like, okay, I just really want to entertain people, you know. I just want people to enjoy it. And then I, you know, was playing with Mongrel, and then like towards the end of me and Mongrel playing together, things started getting a bit more serious with like competitive, you know. And then I stopped playing with Mongrel, and then I started playing with Panzer, and then I already kind of like, I love my boy Panzer, you know. He's a great competitive, but I just realized I wasn't having that much fun, because then I was back with just like the competing with other people that are pros, you know. But now it's like, you know, the fact that it's my friends, you know, they want to stream, they want to entertain, and they want to do good. It's a different thing.
I remember at the time seeing when you retired a bunch of people just saying, you know, there was tweets that were like Panzer, and then there was ones that was like, you know, it goes back, and then there's one that's just like Ref's guard, and I was like, that's just funny at that point, you know, just catching a stray for no reason in there. So it sounds like you just, yeah, I was gonna say something.
I don't know why people would ever hate on somebody for just literally like, it's something if there's like beef or something, but Panzer was literally like, yo, I'm gonna play with this guy, I hope you don't mind, you know, it's been a good run, you know. There's literally no bad blood, and then you just got people saying like, yeah, this guy, what the did you do? And it's like, bro, this guy that's watching is literally more mad than me. I'm the one that got and I'm the one that got dropped, you know, like what the.
So what, after you announced, what did you think of some of the reactions to you retiring? Were you like happy? Was it like, oh my god, I have way more support than I even imagined? Or what was kind of your reaction to the outpouring of support?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, the support, it was actually crazy. Kind of caught me off guard how many people would actually like care, especially when it's like 2025 and it's like literally every single teammate I played with pretty much commented on the tweet. It was like, damn, you know, it brought back some memories. I hope people don't feel like they got baited because of that, you know, because that was never my intention. It was never to like bait or impression farm quick retirement, have a 3-week break. Like, I feel like people are gonna cook up some conspiracy theory, and let me just tell you, like, that was not the plan, bro.
No, I am the people. I've already cooked the theory. Like, I was full baited. I sent you that whole lovely essay in DMs for nothing now. I'm gonna just delete my message. I take it back. I don't miss you. I'll take it all back.
Yeah.
But no, it's fine.
Listen,
it's fine.
That was a very cute message, Evan. Appreciate it, bro. I'll give you a proper hug next time we see each other.
Yeah, no, I'll sort you out. You mentioned a lot when it comes to now playing with Reason and Vidil. One of the biggest benefits is that it still allows you to compete at the highest level while having fun making content, streaming. You're gonna have so many people watching. And so I want to talk about that man behind you. This guy right here.
This is my boy right here.
Your boy right there, Mongrel. Obviously, that's sort of the arrangement you had with him. You know, you decided, you know, you would stop playing with him after FNCS last season. Everybody loved the relationship you guys had. Everybody was rooting for you guys. And I know everything's still on good terms, but can we now get maybe a bit of a rivalry?
A rivalry?
Oh! You know, can we get some MrSavage versus Mongrel? Like, who's gonna do better? Like, can we get a bit of a fun banter rivalry between you two?
All I'm saying is I'm calling that trash can. I'm joking.
This is what I need.
Nah, I would never, bro. I want Mongrel to outplace me, bro. Like, I wish all the best for him. Okay, maybe not outplace me. Maybe one spot below me, but
You know, I saw a clip from Chapter 2, Season 4. It's a Mongrel clip where he takes you out, and he's pretty pumped about it. Do you think part of the reason you came back is to get some revenge for that?
Teddy, I don't know what clip you're talking. I don't think I know.
Selective memory. This guy.
I don't think I've seen that one.
I think we all remember the clip. Actually, he starts screaming your name really loudly after he.
You're gonna have to link me that after we're done here, bro.
Should we watch it right now?
Yeah, let me
All right, it was nice. Thanks for having me, guys. Thanks for having me. I gotta warm up.
All right, Savage. I'm very excited to see you make your return. There are a million other questions that we could ask you about your return, but one of the things I really wanted to do before we let you go is you've obviously been, you know, a competitor for longer than most people have. One of the things about your career that has always been mentioned is the fact that, unfortunately for you, you always seem to get contested. You know, it's tough. It's a part of the game, but it's something that always seems to happen to you. Now, what I wanted to do is take a look back at all the people who have contested you throughout your career and rank them. I want you to rank them. I want to know what you think of all the different people who contested you throughout your Fortnite career. I do have a tier list ready because on FNCS
that is
podcast,
gonna be the long ass tier list, bro.
It's not gonna be long. It's actually.
I'm actually down to do that, bro. Just put Huddy in last place. Just get out the way already, bro.
So this is only in FNCS finals that we've had. Some of these names were like the biggest throwback names I've seen of all time. If there's anybody missing from this, blame Clutch. Shout out to Clutch, but blame him because that means he forgot them. 7Josh and Leo TJ, or Leo JT, sorry. Shout out to Leo JT and 7Josh.
That was Pleasant Park with job.
Big throwback. Yeah. Oh, so it's good. It's a good thing you actually remember all the people because I have the list of where they conned you, but I almost forgot it myself. What did you think of 7Josh and Leo JT when they were conning you back in the day at Pleasant Park?
I mean, I'm looking at this list, bro. Just put them on D. I can't lie. I think they dipped they were running away half the games. Even 7Josh like DM'd me, said like, bro, I don't remember what he said, bro, but he DM'd me something and he was like, bro, like what's going on? Like, yeah, they weren't that great. I think I don't know why we even got contested about them, but
okay. So the next team we have is DKS, Mirza, and Snipe. From Chapter 2, Season 4, Stark season, you conned them at Doom's Domain.
No, they conned us.
Okay, so
we were conned by Reason, Aqua, or maybe it was no Radium a deal in Aqua.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
No of a deal in Aqua.
And they got banned, and then we thought we were gonna have Doom's Domain uncon, which was the second best POI, right? After Stark's domain or whatever it's called. And yeah, you know what they were doing, bro? They were taking the key card for the vault, and they literally ran out in the ocean until you couldn't even swim anymore, and they dropped the card there in grand finals. So put them at D, please.
Okay.
There's one thing that's always true. One thing's always true. There's always a French team ready to grief in any single FNCS grand final somewhere.
That will remain true for the rest of Fortnite history. The next team we have here is Malibuka, Mustache, and Shizo. They contested you at Steamy Stacks in Grand Royale, a very historic off-spawn battle between you and them.
Bro, they contested us 4 FNCSs in a row, bro. One of them they didn't qual for, but that was literally you know that's over a year of straight calling.
They did not mess with you guys, let's say it that way.
Malibuka and MrSavage, they're insane players, obviously, no doubt about that. Shizo, right after he quit, he started setting cheats, which is kind of interesting, considering me and Andretta and Refsguard literally made a folder of clips and like things, because we were trying to expose him for cheating, because Malibuka and MrSavage will say he's not cheating, but I'm still convinced he was cheating when we were calling them. And that's not even me trying to make an excuse, but like, bro, he literally started selling cheats after he quit. Let's put them at A. If it was MrSavage, Malibuka, and someone else, then they would go S, of course. But let's put them at A just because I still got, bro, a year. Right. And this guy started selling cheats, bro.
Then DKS and Bad Sniper were back when we switched to duos in Chapter 3 over at Tilted Towers. You remember much? I feel like most people just don't remember Chapter 3, you know? So
no.
I just take it out of my mind.
That was when I was playing with Benji Fishy, right?
Yes.
I don't even remember much of that, bro. I can't lie. Just put him at C, bro. Just put him at C.
Then another sort of future legend, right? Because Manabuke and Mustache at the time were not really considered like, you know, great players, but they ended up becoming legends of the game. Another future legend here, Vico, playing with Jackson back in the day. They contested you over at Tilted Towers as well during Chapter 3. I think when you were playing with Hen, what did you make of these guys?
They were pretty good, actually. They're actually pretty good.
Could you tell back then that Vico was going to be really good? Or did you just think, scrubs?
I didn't think too much of it, to be honest. Like, I don't mean to sound disrespectful, but I didn't think too much of it at that time. Like, I think it was a bit after that when he started like actually going like crazy, you know. But I feel like when we were calling them, it was like actually pretty even. Let's put him at B. Chat, keep in mind this is based on how they were playing at the time when we were calling them. Okay.
Yeah. When you were calling them, what did you think of them? Now we have an international tournament, the FNCS Invitational at Logjam. Baka and On1 were contesting you guys.
We were supposed to be on that tournament, and then we're at the event venue in the practice room 1 day before Globals. They sign up for scrim saying they're landing on our spot. 1 day before the tournament, bro. 1 day before World Cup. But no, I'm not gonna lie, in that tournament, they actually played pretty well. So I'll put them, I would put them at B, but considering On1 started cheating as well after he conned us, let's put him back at C. Everybody that has a cheater or cheater seller teammate gets down 1 rank, bro.
They get down 1. I think that's
there's a trend here.
I think I'd maybe go a bit lower than down 1, but you're maybe a bit nicer than me for that. Then over in Chapter 4, you were landing over at Anvil and you were conned by Croup and Cade.
That was when I was playing with Deal, or was it with iDrop?
Chapter 4? I think that would have been Vidil.
That was with Deal, I think, yeah.
That would have been Vidil, yeah.
Chat, none of these guys were cheating, right? We got exposed after.
Can't even remember anymore.
Not yet, anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they were okay, I guess. Put them at C.
Lane and Nate in Chapter 5, Season 1.
These kids, bro. Like, French kids always be contesting me, bro. Lane and Nate, yeah, that was the first season I got back with Mongral, and we qualified Grands. Listen, I don't even know how good they were. Like, we didn't con them that much, I think. It was just, they literally swapped to our spot just for Grands. I might be wrong, but yeah, it kind of like, it ruined a bit of like the whole thing with me, Mongral coming back, you know? It's like, just kind of annoying, but of course, if you want to con anyone, you can con anyone. It is what it is. That's how the game is. It's a bit of a bad timing to be con. I would have loved to be on con that Grands. Yeah, Chad, which one of them got banned after, literally 2 days after Grands? Got removed from leaderboard and everything? Which one was it? Was it Nate or was it Lane? I think it was Nate.
I can't remember. I think it was Nate.
I think it was Nate.
It was Nate. Yeah. I mean, these kids got banned 2 days after Grants, so just put them at D tier, bro. These kids.
At Globals. Oh no, not at Globals. In NA, in Season 3 of NA, you were conned by Def and Edgy.
I don't think we were.
In
Grants.
I don't think in
Grants we were uncon.
Wasn't in Grands? Oh, Clash got it wrong then. It's fine.
It's fine.
But the Mongrel had a good 1v2 against them.
He did.
That was one of the clips of that.
He did.
I can't lie, they were actually getting smoked, you know? Like, that's an edgy. I have respect for them. I think they're good players, but like, bro, they were actually getting smoked. Yeah, during the time they were calling us, I'll just put them at D tier, honestly. Like,
gotta be a D.
And then just a bonus, Vidil, Aqua, and Noah did contest you leading up to Grants one season. Where would you rank them compared to the rest of these?
Ooh, yeah, they were S tier. I can't lie, they were actually working us like most of
They're
us.
giving you the smoke.
Yeah, but they were all 3 in our viewer list at the same time. So put them at A, go down 1.
So now that you are back in the game, hopefully you don't get contested because I'm trying to see you get to Globals. But do you guys even have a drop spot? Like, what's even going on with that? Like, what's the like? Do you have anything planned yet?
Don't worry about that too much, bro. Don't worry about that. Reason and Video got it covered, bro. I might just be like the dog on the leash for this one.
Are you playing Div 2 today then?
Yeah, we're playing Div 2. We're gonna be dropping 40s.
Yeah. I'm in your lobby.
So in Div 2 because me and you. Yeah, you're in our lobby. True. I was actually talking to Video and Reason earlier today, saying like, bro, if we don't qual Div 2, like, bro, we're literally playing against.
It's raps.
We're playing against Rise Hub and Destiny Jesus. Like, if we don't qual,
genuinely, like, if you don't win this tournament, not even just qual, you know.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Hey, let's both qual, bro. We got this, bro.
Yes.
Chat, top 1 if you think Reese Hub is gonna qual. Top 2 if you think you won't.
That's a lot of 2s right there.
There's a lot of 2s already. I can tell you right now.
I'm in there typing 2 right now.
Bro, they're spamming 1s.
Oh, no way.
Ooh,
Reese, I'm getting some love in Savage's chat. We love that.
They don't know me. That's why.
I know. They all watch your videos. Trust me.
Chat, we're playing FNCS with the deal and Reason. We're playing next season, and we're gonna qual Globals, and we're gonna be on that big stage, chat, in Lyon, in France. All right, the last dance, boys.
Aura, nothing but aura right there. Love to see it.